southern charm, fair weather, and a growing employment scene might be some of the reasons you think people like moving to Raleigh, but there are honestly a lot more. We're gonna dig into some of them today, and some of them might surprise you, so stick around.
All right, the first reason is the job market. So ADP, which is a payroll software, put out a study basically saying that the Raleigh area is the #1 metro for recent college graduates to move to as far as a strong job market. The Wall Street Journal put out a study, put Raleigh in the top 20 as far as areas with strong economies. CNBC for multiple years in a row, this past year was actually, we were #2. North Carolina was the second best place for businesses. So really study after study points to the strong economic powerhouse of not just North Carolina, but with the Raleigh area.
Yeah, for sure. And Raleigh is also known for the Research Triangle Park. So RTP is a big research park with a lot of businesses. It kind of hugs both Raleigh and Durham, and there's a lot of big businesses there, especially in like the biotech, software, things like that, and a lot of those like STEM type jobs. So it does bring in a lot of higher paying jobs as well.
Absolutely.
So next on the list is excellent healthcare. So the Triangle actually has some of the best health outcomes of the entire country, and we have just really great outcomes. Yeah, I mean the average life expectancy is higher in Orange, Wake, and Durham County than most parts of the country in all parts of North Carolina. So definitely a good place to be. Those are the 3 counties that make up the Triangle. Yeah, it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
And Orange County too has more doctors to residents ratio than most places in the country as well. So healthcare here is really accessible and obviously just like really good healthcare. So that's really great. A lot of that also kind of comes into quality of life, and the types of lifestyles people live in this area tend to bring on longer life expectancy as well, just healthier lifestyles. Of the hospitals in the area, you have Duke University Hospital, #1 in North Carolina, and also a top 20 hospital in the country. Of the hospitals in North Carolina, of the top 5, 3 are located in Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill. So you have just a lot of options that are really great no matter where you pick to live here.
Yeah. All right, next up on the list is beautiful green landscapes, tall trees. This is honestly, I mean, this is just North Carolina in general, I guess, unless you're further to the coast. But I think one of my favorite things about this area really is the tall trees, the greenery. It's just, you don't get this in all parts of the country, and there's just something to say about a really hot summer day and you have shade. And I love that about Raleigh. You know, we may not have, you know, the professional sports venues that other cities have or the entertainment venues that other places have, but the green space is wonderful.
Yeah, I'll take that over it any day. And yeah, like Zach mentioned, obviously there are other places in the country with trees, but you know, being here, you've got a lot of pine trees and oak trees and things that just grow really tall. So it's a lot of trees that actually do provide shade. And so, you know, you have a lot of wildlife attracted to those, and just brings a lot of peace to the setting. You know, not that every house has it necessarily in the backyard, but it's very easily accessible for everybody for free. And it's just such a nice thing to have, especially when we go out of town to a place that doesn't have it, and then we come back in, I'm like, man, I really missed the trees. All right, so next on the list is outdoor recreational space. I know we mentioned there's a lot of green space around here. In addition to that, just a lot of space that can be used for recreation, which is so nice. Wake County, just like this one. So Wake County alone has over 250 miles of greenway trail, and that is a growing number every year. It looks like they're adding more and more. You have even more trail than that when you add in Orange or Durham County, kind of going into Johnston County, and you have a lot of access to that. Tons and tons of parks. You've got Umstead Park, which is a huge place if you're big into hiking or mountain biking or anything like that. But you have a lot of other smaller parks similar to this one. We're at Shelley Lake Park. I know a lot of you always ask me in the comments, tell me where you're filming. We want to know where it is. So this is Shelley Lake Park. Really a cool park. Got a beautiful lake. You do fishing and stuff here, hiking trails, playground, which is really nice. But we have just a lot of access to lots of different things like this, and you also have really easy access to get to the beach or the mountains when you live in the Triangle because it's kind of centrally located within the state. So it's very easy to do a weekend trip or even a day trip if you're an early riser and you don't mind coming home a little bit late to get to.
Right, not if you bring your kids.
Yeah, I've met people that do it, and I'm very impressed. I don't want to. But, you know, it is definitely doable to do that, to get to like Boone and go enjoy the mountains, or to go over to Wilmington or some of the other beach towns. Definitely lots of access to enjoy the outdoors.
Yeah.
All right, so next on the list is a growing food and art scene here in the Raleigh-Durham area. It's not the thing that like comes to mind first, you know, but there really is a lot here with different, if you're like a foodie or you like going to breweries, there is really a lot to explore here. I've lived here my entire life and I still have not hit all of the restaurants that I want to try yet.
And we won't, because we have a very simple palate, and Cindy could eat Cracker Barrel for the rest of her life. Look, chicken dumplings and be happy.
The heart wants what the heart wants. And I'm a cheap date, so you shouldn't complain too much. Sometimes you just want to go to Chick-fil-A, you know? But yes, there are so many great restaurants around here. I promise we do venture out more than just Cracker Barrel. When we get out, we try. But if you are interested in restaurant reviews and things like that, definitely check out our Instagram page, the RDU Buzz, where we highlight recreation and restaurants and developments around the area. So definitely be sure to check that out. But in addition to the foodie scene, the brewery scene, you've also got a lot of access if you are into the arts, like physical art, like we have the North Carolina Art Museum. If you're into Broadway production, theater, music, there's a lot of venues for that as well. The DPAC, Durham Performing Arts Center, downtown Durham. Lots of off-Broadway shows. We saw The Lion King there recently. Was amazing. If you've never done the Lion King show, the Broadway version, definitely highly recommend checking that out. But different things travel in for that. You know, we've had Hamilton or Mamma Mia, Wicked, shows like that are coming to Durham all the time, which is really cool. So there's definitely something if you are into that and you want that cultural experience. We have a lot of that here.
We do. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button in the corner, like the video, and leave us a comment below. All right, next up on the list is weather. And I feel like you can't talk about reasons why you should move to Raleigh without talking about the weather, because North Carolina really is, I think, one of the few places where you just get a balanced climate. Like our summers are not, they're hot, but they're not all year. Our winters are cold, but they're shorter than what you would get in the Northeast. We get a spring, we get a fall. Like, it truly is a balanced climate, and you just don't find that many places in the country that have that. And I think if you want that, like, the Raleigh area is fantastic.
Yeah, for sure, because some people do want to escape having to deal with all the snow or all the ice. We are an escape from that. We're not an escape from winter in general. Like, you're still gonna need a jacket here in January. You know, it's not tropical climate or anything like that here, but it is nice to have and experience those 4 seasons. You know, by the time you're sick of the heat in the summer, fall is on its way, which is nice. And by the time you're sick of winter, which is very quickly for me, spring is hopefully
like
around the
corner.
corner.
I'm sick of it.
Yeah, feels longer than it is sometimes. Yeah, I'm sick of it. But we don't have to deal with like as much of the snow and whatnot. And you do have those occasional like unusually warm days.
It melts here. Whereas in the Northeast, you know, it just kind of piles up, I feel like.
Right.
Here, I mean, I've never lived in the Northeast, but here you get a snow and it melts.
Yeah, so, within like 24 hours usually. So it's just a different experience, and it's not like Florida where it's summer all the time, you know? So it's a good, nice balance of those things. So last on our list is easy access to an international airport. So you have the RDU Airport here. I personally think, I mean, I'm biased and we fly out of it every time we fly, obviously, but compared to where we're flying into, it is always such a better experience. Like, it's calm and peaceful, but it's not calm and peaceful because it's tiny and inaccessible or something like that. Like, there's a lot of nonstop flights, lots of international nonstop that continue to get added. I think they added 3 this year, like a couple in Europe and one in Mexico City or something like that. So just a lot that are continuing to be added. And I think it was actually in 2023 the fastest growing airport in the entire country. So they're just doing a lot at the airport to keep up with the population growth. You know, I'm not saying don't show up in time to get through TSA.
Lord,
you know, there's
if
obviously
Cindy
exceptions.
had her way, we'd show up 20 minutes before the flight and miss it every single time. Every single time.
We've never missed it, but we've always sat around for a long time waiting around, you know.
Catch our flight.
Anyway, it's just a calm experience compared to some of the other larger city airports that you fly into.
Absolutely. All right, we're Zach and Cindy Honeycutt, a couple real estate agents in the area. So if you are looking to buy or sell, our team would love to be your real estate resource of choice. You can find our contact info below.
Yep, and we'd love to have you follow along with us on Instagram. You can find us at the Honeycutt Realtors, or on our page that, like I mentioned earlier, restaurants, recreation, news and developments, the RDU Buzz, or you can head over to our website, thehoneycutteam.com, and we'd love to help you over there.
Yep, we'll see you next time.